Hey guys, it's Samantha with CSU Online, here to bring you another tip and trick. Today we're going to be talking about using delays as a thickening agent for groups of vocals and ensembles. Let's just dig right in. Okay, so I've got my SQ5 set up here with some multi-tracks from a service I ran in Atlanta back in January. And the song is Great Are You, Lord. And I've set up this fader bank with my three main vocals, my reverb return, and my delay return. That way this is very easy to see and we can easily maneuver through everything. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And all we're hearing right now is a kind of a dirty mix of just these dry vocalists.
You bring light to the darkness, you give hope.
Any reverb or anything we're hearing right now is really just the room feeding back into it. So, okay, let's start with some reverb. Let's go over here and let's check out the effects. So, looks like I've got my effects unit 2 is my vocal verb. That's what I've got set up. And I'm going to hit library and let's just kind of look around some of these presets. Let's look up Hall Bright. Alright, so I've got that. And now I'm going to send these channels to the reverb. So I'm selecting my effects right here. I usually set my effects starting at about -10 decibels. It's usually just a good starting point for me to hear the effect without drowning in it. So I will set this up right there. And let's bring the verb in. Oh yeah, we can definitely hear that. Okay, so if I hit this PAFL button, we will only hear the reverb. And while there are lots of parameters, and honestly that's just an entirely other video, what I want to make sure is that I'm cutting out plenty of low. This is a low frequency cut, and I'm going to bring that up pretty high, and I'm going to bring my high frequency cut down some because I really just want to get this middle chunk of the vocals. Well, let's keep it a little bit high. I want to keep some of that air in. So let me boost up this low frequency cut a little bit more. The big one for reverb is I'm going to be focusing on decay time and pre-delay. 2.5 seconds is a little bit long for my taste right now. Let's bring it down. All right. So this is definitely giving them more air and more space. I'm creating a space with the reverb. So, okay, that sounds pretty good. Now let's go to the stereo delay. I have tap delay up and ready to go. This button is my global tap tempo. And I'm going to make sure I'm tapping this correctly. I usually end up tapping just a little bit slower than the actual beat because the board responds so quickly to my tap that ends up being either just ahead of the beat or directly on it, and I want my delay to be like just behind the beat. Okay, so I've got my tap is good and ready to go now. I'm going to look at these input filters, so I'm going to trim the really lows and I'm going to trim the really highs, so I'm really just getting the meat of their vocals. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to mute the reverb. I'm going to send these to the delay, and I'm going to turn the delay on. We should start hearing this. Oh man, yeah. Now that's intense. I'm going to just a little bit, I'm going to send a little bit less to the delay, so there we go. I don't want it drowning. Okay. And let's listen to, I'm going to hit this PAFL button and we're going to listen to just the delay. And you can see when I adjust these filters, the frequency filters, if I do very little cuts, you can actually hear what I'm cutting out. So let's pick that back down. That's pretty good. And let's take out some more lows. Okay. And the other knob that I really want to focus on is this feedback knob. So when I have it all the way to 0, almost none of the signal is being fed back into the delay. And if I crank it all the way up, will be able to hear the delay is being fed back through many times. And I don't really like that. I don't want the delay to act like a reverb. I want this to help emphasize the reverb and help give a little bit more thickness. So I'm going to keep it pretty low.
Every heart that is broken.
I'm really listening for the tail.
And great are you, Lord.
All right, I think that's pretty good. So I will deselect the PAFO.
Are you, Lord.
And here it is mixed with the original signal.
It's your breath
Definitely a little strong.
in our lungs.
And so, I don't know if you guys can see this.
So we
There's this little bar down here that's telling you where my fader level is. So if it's all the way up,
praise your breath
and here's all the way down, totally out.
in our lungs.
All right, so
We pour out our praise to you only.
I just want this to be really subtle.
You bring light
All right, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to add back in the reverb so we can listen to both effects at the same time.
as you give hope. You
And
restore
remember, we're listening to just the vocals right now, so this is going to sound really saturated because it's not in context yet. So it definitely sounds a little bit wet for my taste, and we'll adjust that.
so great are you, Lord.
Okay, so far so good. Now let's add in the rest of the band.
In our lungs, so we pour out our praise.
I'm going to have the vocals sit a little bit more on top than normal so we can still hear the effect happening.
In our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
All right, and here it is with both effects muted.
You give light, you are love, you bring light to
And with them back in.
darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. And great are you, Lord.
We pause the music there. But now I'm going to show you something really fun to do. So now we've got this really defined kind of thick reverb, and it's really helping three vocalists sound like quite a bit more. So that's great. What ends up being really fun is writing the delay fader, especially if you know the song, actually only if you know the song, and writing it up in between phrases to help really thicken it without adding in that huge long tail that I was referring to earlier. So I'm going to find a new section of the song. Okay, I found a new spot in the song, and now you guys can see exactly where my faders are sitting, and I'm going to show you what it looks like and sounds like when I'm writing the fader with delay and when I have everything turned off. So here we go.
Oh, we sing great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. Everything within us, it's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only.
All right, and now I'm going to turn off the delay.
Oh, we sing great are you, Lord. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise.
have it. That's all it takes to create thicker, fuller vocals and ensembles for your mix. Thanks for tuning in, and look out for our next tip and trick.